Hello, this is Father Bill Watson, and this is a question for our YouTube channel, Ask Father Bill. And today's question is, what current movie do you recommend? Well, it's unusual for me to recommend a movie about evil during the Easter season, but I'm going to do so anyway. Those of you who know me are aware that I fancy myself a connoisseur of horror movies. There are horror movies that are like fun rides with scares and thrills, but ultimately leave no lasting impact. That's because they don't really get at the root of true evil. Then there are horror movies that purport to be about the demonic and real evil that miss the mark, because they also don't get at the root of true evil. Different types of horror genre, but the same problem. No real understanding of how true evil works. Then there are movies like Nefarious. It opened in April of 2023 and is an independent film based on a book by a Christian commentator and blogger, Steve Deese. The book is called A Nefarious Plot. The culturally savvy might remember a remarkable 1965 broadcast by radio personality Paul Harvey called If I Were the Devil. If you have not seen the video, be sure to check it out. The link is below the video. You will hear in Harvey's inimitable voice, in the short space of 3 minutes, the theme of Nefarious. Not the actual plot of the movie, but the plot Harvey describes as Satan's to destroy people and culture. Also down below, you will also find a link to the challenges the Nefarious producers and film crew encountered in trying to bring this project to the silver screen. It's a horror story in and of itself. For its nearly 90-minute running time, the heart of Nefarious is a riveting and oftentimes disturbing dialogue between a convicted serial killer facing execution and a well-bred psychiatrist who professes to be an atheist. It is the psychiatrist's job, played by actor Jordan Belfi, to determine if the killer, played by Sean Patrick Flannery of Boondock Saints, is mentally fit to be executed or if he's insane.
Do you think I'm evil?
Evil isn't a clinical diagnosis. I'd like to ask about why you brought me here today.
The killer claims to be a demon called Nefarious, and Flannery slips effortlessly between the personality of the demon and that of the host he possessed. Or at least that's what we think is happening because we can't be sure. When the psychiatrist enters the holding cell, the killer claims that the good doctor will be responsible for 3 murders before he leaves the prison. That, of course, holds our attention as we move forward in the story's dialogue. I will not give the rest of the plot away because the way the dialogue plays out over the course of the story is worth pondering. The psychiatrist is warned by the warden before he goes into the holding cell that he should not listen to the killer. He says, by the time you are finished, the warden warns, he will have you convinced that you are the murderer. Is that a clue? Not telling. You will be hard-pressed to find any reviews of Nefarious by the press. But you will realize as the story unfolds why the media has shunned it. Like Paul Harvey's If I Were the Devil, it names real evil in our world. Evil that is welcomed by today's most enlightened and sophisticated, just the kind Hollywood celebrates. Nefarious has, however, garnered one of the highest moviegoer ratings ever. So if you want to see a movie this Easter season that will give you hard evidence why Jesus Christ had to live, die, and rise again to save us, then at least consider Nefarious. As one of the last lines in the film states, there's a great battle going on, whether we realize it or not. A battle between good and evil, and we're all participants. By pondering Nefarious, yes, pondering, not watching, you might understand how intimate, personal, and aggressive that battle truly is, and that we are all participants, willing or not. And I hope that helps.
He claims he's a demon.
He's a master manipulator. By the time he's done with you, he'll have your head so twisted around you think you're the killer.